Hello and warm greetings from Germany. My name is Niklas Siemer and I'm an education consultant from SAP Training and Adoption. So my job is to deliver trainings in a classroom or in a virtual live classroom in COVID situation regarding several topics, normally the SAP system administration and the BTP development regarding topics. And today I'm the host of this session, Introduction to SAP Conversational AI. So I want to give you a look into SAP CAI and want to make a live demo how to create a small Hello World bot. And yeah, I would like to start with showing you my agenda. So first I want to talk about how our worlds are getting more digital and how digital assistants are becoming more important. Second, why chatbots are important. And then the business opportunities of chatbots. Then an explanation of natural language processing, in short, NLP. And at the end, the capabilities of SAP Conversational AI. And to close this session here today, I want to make a short live demo on the platform. And yeah. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them via the Q&A. I will answer them at the end of the session. So what is conversational AI in general? Conversational AI is a new way of communicating with technology. So, okay, chatbots and smart assistants are already existing some time, but they're getting more conversational over this time. So that means that the experience of having conversations with these assistants getting better and better. In the past, the conversation with technology was comment-based. I have to type a specific comment in a chat window or something like that. And in the future, the conversation should be a natural way, like a conversation between humans. Based on that, we have some insights, and Gartner says that 25% of digital workers will use virtual employee assistants daily by 2021. So that means that every employee which working on a computer will use a digital assistant by 2021. So only 25% of all workers, of course, but yeah, they will use digital assistants in their daily work. Facebook Insight says that 67% of people thinking about and expecting to message more with businesses over the next 2 years than the last years. So the conversation rate between businesses and employees or customers are getting higher over the next time. Based on that, we had to think about why our world and how our world getting more conversational. So maybe you might know something like the digital assistants in our lives, like Google Assistant or Alexa or something like that. And you can control your light bulbs or your smart plugs in your home with them. Or even in new cars, you have voice recognition. So when you buy a new car, often you have voice recognition to control the navigation, to control the music, to control the lights, something like that. And of course, chatbots are digital assistants years ago, and of course in the future too. So I think all of you have already seen in a minimum one web page with a chatbot. So our world getting more and more digital and of course more conversational. When we have conversational AI in general, we can decide, or I mean, we can split the audience in two parts. So the first interesting audience for our conversational AI are your customers. So for example, if you have a web shop, your customers might want to use a chatbot on your web page. And the second are your employees. So even your employees want to use a chatbot or a digital assistant internally to simplify some internal processes. I want to start with the employee side. And yeah, if you have a bad employee experience in your company, your employee is getting frustrated based on the, for example, overloaded internal processes for creating tickets or creating leave requests, making time recordings or something like that. That results in lower productivity of your employees. When they are frustrated, they are not so high motivated to work for you. And of course, your employees are not happy with you as an employer. If you use a digital assistant or in general a chatbot, you can support your employees to find the right page or the right user interface, the right navigation on the user interface. If they don't find it directly, they can ask the chatbot, and the chatbot gives them or navigates them directly to the right point. The chatbots can answer questions, and it doesn't matter if there is a real human agent online right now or not. The chatbot is 24/7 online and can answer all the time. So that would be also helpful for employees. And last, the chatbots can execute low-value tasks for your employees. What kind of low-value tasks? For example, low-value tasks could be creating support requests or making time recording of your work. For example, you have a problem with your computer and expecting the computer don't turning on. You can create a support ticket with a chatbot. In the old-fashioned way, you have to find the right user interface and clicking through all the UI screens and typing all informations in and so on. But in the future, it could be possible that you have a chatbot and you're writing a message to the chatbot, okay, please create a ticket for my computer, XY doesn't work anymore. And then the chatbot can create this support ticket based on one single message. Maybe your employees need to record their working time and which time they are working for each project or something like that. And a chatbot can support for that too. So maybe the chatbot is asking me every day, okay, you have to do time recording for today, which project you are working on. And then I can answer, and the bot is making my time recording, and I don't have to do it manually in a user interface or transaction in an SAP system. So this could be a good example why chatbots are really important, even for your employees and not only for your customers. When you're using chatbots or in general a digital assistant in your enterprise, you have a unified user interface for your employees. And they can support for everyday business tasks like leave requests, support tickets, and so on. And of course, a chatbot, a digital assistant, is always on. So it isn't not based on the working hours of your support agents. The chatbot can help all the time. That results in more motivated employees. So in the end, your employees are more productive because their workflows are more simple and more supported by their digital assistant. Your employees are also more committed to you as an employer and your company. And at the end, you are an innovative company because you use an innovative technology to improve the workflow and the daily work of your employees. So this is the employee side. Why it could be interesting for you to implement a digital assistant, a chatbot for your own employees. Now I want to look on the customer side. I stay at my example with a web shop. For example, I have a web shop and I'm selling there my products to my customers directly. And in the old-fashioned way, I have a FAQ page with the more needed information for my customers, like packaging fees and delivery fees, and most asked questions about my company and about the products and so on and so on. And if the customers have a problem with a product, with a delivery, then they have to call my customer support. So this is the old way. In the most situations, the people have to contact the customer support, and the problem will be hopefully solved by them. The new way is to support this customer support with a chatbot, with a digital assistant, which can make most of the tasks. So, for example, the chatbot can answer the questions: how many is the packaging price? How long will the delivery need? And even if I have a problem with my order, I can send it to the chatbot and say, okay, hello, I have a problem with my order 1, 2, 3. And for example, one product is missing. And then the chatbot says, okay, I create a service ticket for that now. And a customer support agent will get in touch with you. So we could improve the time of the customer support, and we could improve the efficiency of the customer support. And of course, here we have the same positive point. The chatbot can answer my user and my customer all the time, 24 hours a day, and I don't have to wait for the official support times where a support agent can help me. So G-Minder says that 72% of consumers seeing a problem or having to explain the problem multiple times, and they say that is poor customer service. And of course, they are right with that. And I think all of you know this situation. You call on a customer support service and explaining your problem, and then the people say, okay, thank you for the information, but I think I cannot help you, but my colleague can, and I forward you to him now. And then you get forwarded, and you get you have to wait again, and then you have to explain again your problem, and then hopefully the new colleague can help you. But if not, you got often forwarded again to a next higher level of customer service. And lots of people are frustrated by that, inclusive me. So Nextiva researched that 67% of customers hang up the phone caused by frustration when they have to explain the problems again and again, and they have to wait again and again. And you maybe want to improve that, or you say, it doesn't matter. Why you should matter is this slide here, because bad customer support creates annual losses of about $1.6 trillion only in the US. So only in the US, the companies lost about $1.6 trillion based on bad or poor customer service. And if you can if you can make your customer support better based on a chatbot or with a digital assistant, you should maybe do that, and then you get a part of this cake. So all in all, a customer service should be more productive, and a chatbot can support that productivity, because a chatbot can do lots of tasks when I implement them. Here are some examples. I can have a better productivity because the chatbot can already trigger some tasks, or can book some options, or can answer some questions. So all in all, a chatbot would be a good idea to scale your customer service and to improve your customer service. So in general, what is SAP Conversational AI? We just talked about conversational AI in general and talk about the business use cases, but what is SAP Conversational AI? So If you want to improve your customer side or your employee experience and become an intelligent enterprise, you might want to use SAP Conversational AI because it is an end-to-end bot building platform where you train, build, connect, and monitor your enterprise-ready chatbots. And resulting from that, you have a digital assistant for your portfolio, for your customers, for your employees, which you can integrate in nearly every landscape and in the complete SAP portfolio on products. So the SAP Conversational AI is built based on natural language processing. So what is natural language processing? In general, natural language processing is a technology which is built on AI, on artificial intelligence. And the NLP has the task to extract the key information and key parts out of the natural message from our user. So our user don't use specific comments, our user writing a human natural message to the chatbot, and the chatbot has the goal to extract all required information out of that natural message. And as an example, at CAI, the NLP has the task to extract the intent of a message from the user. So that is the intention of the user. What wants the user to do? Does he want to know something about our company? Has he a problem with the order or something like that? And then at the end, extracting entities. So some additional informations which are needed for the processing of the request of the user. To give you an example, a user could write what the status of my order with the order number 012345. And then the natural language processing is extracting the intention, the intent the user wants to have the order status. And to fetch the order status, the bot needs to know the order number. And the order number was already included in the message. So the natural language processing engine extracted the entity order number to process and continue the processing with this information. Another example, how much is the delivery fee? So my user wants to know what the delivery fee is, how many the delivery costs, for example. So the intention is the user wants some fee information, and the entity would be the fee type. The user wants to know something about the delivery fee and not about the packaging fee or the tax fee or something like that. So these are the main part. This is the main part of the NLP processing, but NLP does a little bit more, because the first what NLP does is the language detection. To extract the information as strict as possible, the NLP needs to detect the language first. So if I'm writing in English, German, or Japanese, the NLP does need to know that which language it is, because every language, of course, have its own structure. And based on that structure, the messages get extracted from the NLP. Then the intent classification. So what is the intention of the user? Does he want to report an issue? Does he want some information about the weather? Are there some greetings or something like that? Then the entity detection. So all required information for the processing get extracted out of the message. For example, in this message, I'm looking for a Japanese restaurant tonight in Paris. We need to know 3 informations for our processing. We need to know which kind of restaurant. We need to know where, so the location of the restaurant, and we need to know when, the time or the date of the restaurant booking which I want to make. And in this example, the restaurant entity is Japanese, the daytime entity tonight, and the location Paris. So my chatbot can process this request and maybe contact an external API searching for Japanese restaurant in Paris with 3 time slots tonight. And the last point, what NLP does is a sentiment analysis, and that has the goal to extract the feeling of the user. Is he happy? Is he angry? Is he sad? Something like that. Okay, that is NLP. And yeah, we have to define some training data for the NLP AI. Otherwise, we cannot build a chatbot. So SAP Conversational AI is the complete bot building platform for bot training, for bot building, for bot connection, for example, connecting the chatbot to a web page or to Microsoft Teams or to a Facebook page or something like that. And last, bot analytics. Of course, I want to have some statistics about the usage of my bot, how many users use the bot, what kind of messages are they writing, and something like that. And also for that, the SAP Conversational AI have several capabilities included. So before I go to the next slide, SAP Conversational AI comes in two versions. It comes in the Community Edition and it comes in the Enterprise Edition. The difference between these two editions is Community Edition is completely free. You just need to have an SAP ID account and you can create one for free too. And the Enterprise Edition needs to be subscribed in the Business Technology Platform. So what are the feature differences? So the Community Edition mainly includes most of the features, but the Enterprise Edition has some additional features on top. And these features are a test suite to automatic testing the chatbots, and some connectivity features, such like if you want to use an OData service hosted on your BTP, but not hosted externally to the web, just internally and using the destination service, then you need the Enterprise Edition. Or if you want to connect your SAP on-premise system through the cloud connector with the BTP and your CAI, then you also need the Enterprise Edition. But for all other stuff, contacting APIs and so on, you can use the Community Edition for free. So you can build any chatbot for free, expecting these paid features. But every API which is accessible through the internet can be included in your chatbot projects, even from your SAP on-premise system when you are hosting them into the internet. That does not mean that your APIs cannot be secured. Of course, they can be secured via basic authentication or OAuth, and you can consume them in the chatbot framework too. So you just need to know how to contact the APIs. They need to be public, hosted in the internet. So when I want to create an example chatbot, a hello world chatbot here in the session, we need to clarify these four terms. First, intent, I think we already explained that. That is the intention of the user. So I have to define what the intention of the chatbot should be. And yeah, when I define an intent, I also define expressions for this intent. And these expressions are example messages which a user possibly could write to the chatbot to trigger this intention. For example, in my Hello World bot, I have the intention Hello World, which should respond with a Hello World message. So the expressions could be a message like Hello World or Hello Universe, Hey Universe, hey, how are you? Something like that. And I have to define as much as possible expressions for one intent. An amount of about 50 is the suggested amount. So with 50 plus expressions for every intent, the results are the most strictly, but it also works with less than 50 expressions for every intent. In every chatbot, you can have more than one intent. You can have theoretically unlimited intents for every chatbot, but which intent you have and how many intents you have, that depends on your use case for what you want to use the chatbots. But this is only the NLP part. So we have to define the intents and the expressions for the natural language processing, and then we can train our chatbot. so the AI from the NLP based on that input data here. But if we write a message to the chatbot, then nothing would happen because we have to create a skill. And normally one intent is mapped to one skill. So one intention triggers one skill, and a skill have minimum one action, maybe responding with a text message, responding with an image, contacting an external API. This could also be actions. And yeah, that would be at the end the action the bot makes when I trigger an intention. So I have to map an intent to a skill. I have to create a skill with actions. Minimum one would be good. Technically, it would be possible to match multiple intents to one skill or match one intent to multiple skills, but that is not the suggested way because then the user experience is not so good. So you should think about your intent and skill mapping in before in the conception, but technically you can map as many as you want. Yeah, but it is suggested map one intent to map one skill. Yeah, and this is the part where I switch to the live demonstration. So I go to the website cai.tools.sap because here you can access SAP Conversational AI Community Edition. And if you want to build a bot, you just need to log in here with your SAP ID. If you haven't an SAP ID, you can create one here for free. So I have one, so I will log in now. And if I'm got logged in here, I have my bot project and I have some more bot projects here. For example, I have some internal bot projects which are working on, or a Hello World session bot and another Hello World, because I already make these sessions here sometimes. And you can create a new bot. You can add other users to collaborate on your bot project. You can create organizations and so on. But I want to create a new bot, my Hello World bot. So I'm clicking on that. Then I could decide, should it be a perform action bot or should it be an FAQ bot? Because if you have a CSV file with questions and answers, you can create an FAQ bot, upload this CSV file, and then you have a finished FAQ bot, which is answering these questions. But I want to make a perform action bot because the bot should respond with Hello World. Then you can select some predefined skills if you want, something like greetings, small talk, weather, customer satisfaction, and alarm. I do not want to use one of these here. Then you have to define a name. And this name will be also part of the URL of the bot. So yeah, doesn't make it too long or too complicated, would be my suggestion. I make it now Hello World session. And this is my name. I could provide a description if I want. I could provide topics or something like tags to my bot if I want. Then I have to select a default language. And I will continue with English here, but you can select nearly every language you want. The languages English, French, German, and Spanish are the advanced ones. So these languages are the most supported. But the rest of the languages also work okay or fine, but these four are the most supported ones. And of course, your chatbot can support more than one language, so it could be multilingual if you want that, but do not define that here. You have to define that in the intent creation later. So this is only the default language of the bot, and I select English. Then you have to define the data policy. In my case, non-personal is okay, so all data can be stored unlimited. If you have a chatbot which is working with personal or sensitive personal or health data, you will select the specific one. Then you can decide if you want to store or do not store the conversation data. I recommend you to store the conversation data because based on that, you can get more insights and more statistics of your bot to improve your bot. And then you have to define if your bot is non-vulnerable or vulnerable. Of course, my one is non-vulnerable. And then you have to define the bot visibility. Private is the default selection. That means that only you and from you defined developers can access your bot project. If you select public, your bot project is visible to all users of CAI, and they can look into it and they can copy your bot and use it for their own project. So yeah, make a good decision here. Of course, you can change it afterwards when you decide for the wrong, but I stay at private here. So I click on create a bot. And then I'm directly got navigated into my bot side. And here are the 4 capabilities: training, building, connecting, and monitoring. And I want to create an intent now, my hello world intent. So for that, I'm clicking on create here. And now I have to define a name for my intent. I call it hello world. Create intent. After that, I have to click on the intent to define the expressions. And as I already said, these expressions are the example messages which a user could potentially write to the chatbot to trigger this intention. The NLP algorithm works in the way that it also detects messages which are meaning the same but are not listed here. So if I'm just typing hello world here, but I would write hey world here, the bot should detect that too. So that are only example messages for training the NLP and nothing like comment. Okay, so I will type hello world here, or hey world, or good morning world, or something like that. And if I wait a small time, then the NLP algorithm gives me some suggestions which could also fit to this intention. For example, here, good morning people, nope. Or oh word, nope. Good morning live, nope. So in this case, all of these are not matching to my intention, but that is okay. So it is just a suggestion from the NLP. And in some cases, it fits perfectly. And in some cases, it doesn't fit so good to my intention. So for my demonstration, this is enough. And the only thing which I need to do in the training tab now is to train the NLP based on this input data. If I want to have a chatbot which supporting multi-languages, I had to add a language here. Then I can select another one. But to train our NLP, I only have to click here on train. And then it takes some time, maybe in some cases some more time, in some cases some less. And if it's green, it is finished. So my training is already finished. If I'm testing it here in the test function right now, hello world, the bot is saying, yeah, okay, I got what you want to do. The user is referring to hello world. So this area here, this test area, is to test the intent classifications. If I have defined the intents here and trained my bot, I can test it in this window if the classification works good or not. If it's working not good, I maybe have to add more expressions or to change my expressions. Maybe I have an intent which is too near the same, then I have to adjust my chatbot at all. So this is just for testing the intent clarification. And I can get a more detailed view too. So then I click on see more JSON details, and then I would see, okay, intent hello world. The bot is confident about 99%. I think more is not possible than the language. And if they would be entities in the message, they would be listed here. Okay, but our chatbot has no action right now. So the chatbot cannot respond me at the moment. And to add an action and add a response here, I have to go to the build tab. And here I can add a new skill. And I have to define a name for that too. Hello world. Okay, it's a business ad. And then I click on the hello world, because here I can positionate documentation of this skill, I have to define the trigger. And that is the action which results in processing of this skill. So my intention should be defined here. And I say if hello world is present, then this skill hello world got fired by that trigger. If you have requirements for processing, then you can make this here, but we will not make this in our demonstration. I just want to create an action at the end. And for that, I will add a new message group, and then I can send a message, contact an external service or API, forward the request to another skill, to another bot, or change the language, or I can forward the message to a human agent if the bot cannot answer the request. Of course, a chatbot can support your employees or your customers in a huge amount of situations, but not in all situations. And if you have the point where the chatbot cannot help, then the chatbot can forward this request to a human agent, and then human agent can help. So in my case, I want to just send a message, and I want to just send a text message. As you can see, you have several types of messages which you could answer or sending. A message with a card, a message with buttons, quick replies, carousel, list, image, and custom and client data is the scripting engine of CAI, because SAP Conservational AI has built-in scripting engines for the messaging. But in my case, I just want to make a small text message. Hello world, how are you today? If I want, I can use markdown syntax in my messages here. So I enable it here, and then I can say, for example, here, 3 stars in front and before will make the message bold. And now I save this. And I already explained the test area to you, but now we have to use the chat preview, because only here the chatbot is answering to us. Here is only the intent testing, but here is, our live bot. So I will write hello world now, and then the chatbot is answering me with hello world. This one is bold because I used the markdown syntax there, and the rest of the message is normal. So basically that is the end of the live session. Of course, you need to connect your chatbot via the connect feature to web chat, to Messenger, to Skype, to Teams, to Cortana, or something you want which appears in the list. Of course, you have some monitoring, like some usage metrics here. One conversation is made with one user, it was one message, okay. So basically lots of stuff more than that which I'm showing here in the session, but of course I cannot show you all here. If you are interested in CAI, you can visit cai.tools.sap, because as I already mentioned, it is a community edition and it is free, so you can test it by your own. You can learn more by getting on the documentation or getting on the blog. And there is an open SAP course of CAI available for free. So you maybe want to visit this open SAP course to learn more. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them into the Q&A tool now. I try to answer them. And I hope this presentation had helped you. And thank you. Okay, if there are no questions, then have a great day and have fun building some cool chatbots. And maybe we will see in another session. And stay safe. Bye-bye.